Hello and welcome to Reaction Time, podcast about League of Legends esports. My name is Steven and this is Eric, and we're missing someone. It's a dark day. Our friend is on baby watch, and so it's going to be a DUOLANE special. How are you doing, Eric?
Good. Ready for some duo lane. Let's
Yes.
let's get ready for duo queue. Maybe I'll finally make it back to like a positive win
not
win loss record.
not when I am a very impressive Xerath one trick. I and
Oh,
I flash in to miss all my skill shots as you do with a completely skill shot artillery mage. You should flash in to close range and then miss everything.
yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about MSI. That's coming up. That's a thing that we luckily get this year. So I say we talk about the groups. Eric has some hot takes that we talked about a little bit off camera that I'm going to fight him about because I think that's just not true. And we will start with the teams in Group A, which is Pentanet.gg, Royal Never Give Up, and Unicorns of Love. How are you feeling about these teams?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm really sad this is only a 3-team group because the Vietnamese team couldn't make it due to visa reasons with COVID. With Gigabyte Marines also in this group, it would have been very sick with a lot of really fun games. Instead, it's really going to turn into, can Pentanet take games off of either of the other two teams, or is it just going to be a very clear 1, 2, 3 in the power rankings here?
If they are taking games, do you know anything about Pentanet? First off,
I know nothing about them. That was
nice.
David's job. He's the OS player. Um, in case you weren't aware, he actually had moved his account to OS for a while and was playing strictly ARAMs on OS server with like random people for like 2017 or so, I want to say. And so I'd watch him play and like actually win a ton of games on like 200 ping because he was a lot better than some of those players. But on the flip side, I do know a lot more about Unicorns of Love. This is the same Unicorns of Love that was at Worlds last year. The only difference is that Gadget is no longer on the roster. He moved over to Mouse Esports, and he's in quarter. He just won his way into semis of EU Masters by playing Karthus bot lane. So if you want more Gadget nonsense, watch the Mouse set that's going to be coming up later on this weekend and see him do more nonsense. But instead, they picked up Lodic, who was the ADC for Gambit, which was the other like top tier team in LCL. Gambit is um, Gambit is leaving the scene, so a lot of their talent, which is very good comparative to the rest of that league, is now like going through a diaspora, and they got the ADC, which means that now they have an actual ADC on this roster, which is it's both good as far as their actual ability to win games and sad from the perspective of there's no more Karthus and Ziggs bot lane.
Yeah, I feel like Gadget is definitely someone you have to play to, whether or not it's play around or play towards. But like whatever he does, you have to be committed to playing around what the ramifications of that play would be. So definitely maybe someone more traditional in that AD carry role gives some benefit to this team, especially in this bracket. With, I mean, Royal looks really good.
Yeah. Royal looks very good. They're one of the favorites in the overall tournament, along with Damlon Kia, who's in a different group. And in this group where they had no other like real major powers to contest, the real question is like, can either team in this group show us anything from Royal, or will they just like camp Xiaohu's lane repeatedly like they did against FPX and then just snowball through topside?
Yeah, I think this is the time to bring out some different kind of compositions and look at maybe taking some games and like showcasing some weakness in RNG, and that would be good for everyone else in the tournament to maybe like watch and see like if they do drop a game, why and how can that be exploited going further. So tragic, Gigabyte Marines, we will miss you. We want you here. They show up consistently. Like how many like they are have they been at every international event?
Uh, Not every. I think they actually lost last year in Vietnam,
Yeah,
but now Levi's back, and with Levi back, they look really good. So
he's not getting
the roster
sandbagged
is
on
pretty
100 Thieves.
consistent. Yeah, or in the LDLC not LDLC LDL in China,
Yeah.
and now he's back, and he's proving he is good enough to make it to these events. So yeah, as long as we get to see him, Flame Horizon in jungle at 15 minutes, we're in a good spot.
Yes, maybe they'll bring out Pharaoh Flare for next year, and he can really showcase, maybe get some more time in the spotlight. All right, well, World Never Give Up. Probably going to take that group. I don't think is that something we want to fight about? Or do we want,
No,
let's talk about second. Like, do you think Pentanet GG will take second place, or is it handedly Unicorns of Love getting a pass here?
I'm pretty sure it's handedly Unicorns of Love getting the pass. I actually don't recognize like almost anyone on this OS roster. Like a lot of the real good OS talent went to NA because of the rules changes. So this, like, I think I only recognize their jungler from this
Yeah,
roster.
I was about to say, I think
Um,
David has spoke highly of Pabu in the past.
yeah,
That's a name that I recognized as well.
yeah.
But there's a lot of talent that they'd be going up against. So
And OS also, just even when they have been sending like their all-star rosters, hasn't actually been beating LCL teams. So I don't. It would be an upset. Um,
speaking of
uh,
upset, you should buy merch from the Funky Store, where I won't be upset because you're buying merch from the Funky Store. That is www.funkyfnky.store. We have cool shirts like the Big Mood, which I'm feeling, and nostalgic stuff, like the nostalgia Game Boy shirt. I mean, not Game Boy, but it kind of looks like a brand that you'd be nostalgic for. So, chilling aside, Group B, we have Fast Pay Wildcats, the Mad Lions, PSG Talon, and Pain Gaming. Any initial hot takes coming in? I made a comment that like Mad Lions are getting a free pass, and Eric scoffed at me with his
oof,
infinite more
oof.
knowledge than me. Yeah, so let's
I don't
let's
know
back up
about
some stuff.
I don't know about infinite more knowledge, but what I know is that PSG Talon is who knocked Mad Lions out of making it into groups at Worlds last year. And so now we get to see if having Armut and Elyoya really makes a difference on an international stage for this roster, because PSG Talent is even better now than they were at Worlds. And they looked pretty good at Worlds. They've upgraded in mid lane. Tank I love, but now they have Maple back. He's back after his stint in the LPL in Misery, and they still have Hanabi in top lane, former of Flash Wolves. So this is 2 out of the 5 Flash Wolves players. And then they still kept their bot lane and River in the jungle, who looks phenomenal. So like PSG Talon, I think is an incredible contender. And then if you look at Pain Gaming from Brazil, or Fast Pay Wildcats from Turkey, they're themed around Istanbul. That's their like home city. These teams are actually also filled with repeat appearances and contenders. Fast Pay Wildcats has Holy Phoenix, who's been at Worlds multiple times. And also, I just love this team because of their players' names. I don't know if you've paid attention. It's Starscreen in top lane, and they have Farfetched as their support, and they have a Ferret in the jungle. Like, what's not to love about this roster?
Are
They
these
had a
some
pretty
gamer
content.
boys?
They Yeah, they had a pretty contentious roster or playoffs getting through to MSI, but they managed to take out 1907
Bit of
Fenerbahce, if
Ache,
I
yeah.
got that right, as well as whoever beat Dark Passage, who I'm forgetting. So it was like actually a pretty competitive bracket yet again in Turkey. And then we have Pain Gaming showing up, and yet again, here he is. Double Lift might have retired, but BRTT sure
BRTT, let's go.
hasn't. And here he
This is
is
the year of
back
Draven.
at MSI yet again. So everyone who retired is a schmuck. Like, here's Brazil ready to show up and take somebody out of this tournament. Um, uh, I'll be real, their odds are not the best, but both of these other teams have some real experienced veteran talent. Mad Lions is actually a lot younger than and has less international experience than these other rosters, and that's a really scary place to be here if you're trying things out. So while this looks like a pass group for Mad Lions, this is in no ways a pass group in my mind. Like, anyone can make their way out of this in that second spot if all it takes is either Talon or Mad Lions to flub like one set and it's over.
That worked. How much on stage experience did Mad Lions get this season with this split?
On stage,
On stage,
playoffs.
just playoffs, and so this is on stage as well? Question mark.
It's on stage in Reykjavik. Yeah.
Okay, so this is do we keep with tradition in Mad Lions just like shit the bed when they get in front of real competition? Let's see. I doubt it, given the amount of talent they've had here, but you never know.
Carzzy hard inting into Holy Phoenix or BRTT will get punished.
Oh, Carzzy versus BRTT. I think that's going to be spicy. Like, who wins that lane?
It's a good question. I really think it is pick ban dependent for some of this, as far as like who's gonna pick like towards scaling lanes and who's gonna pick Draven. I actually do think this is a pretty build wise it's not, but I do think this is a decent time to play Draven as far as snowballing early advantages. Jackie Love in the LPL playoffs in game 5 locked that Draven pick, and I felt they were going to win that game when they were up 8K at 15 minutes, but then he hard inted for the rest of it. So all you need to do is lane like Jackie Love, but then play late game like anyone else, and you're in a good spot.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for BRTT to get Draven. Just at least let it happen for the showmanship. Like, just let him have it. Someone drop a game so he can play it and show some stuff. Like, I want it. I want it in my eyes. I want it in my soul to experience some more BRTT Draven on an international stage. So, Mad Lions show up, take first. Who's taking second then?
PSG Talon.
PSG Talon handedly.
They're really good. So I don't see many odds of, as much as I'm hyped for the Turkish or the Brazilian teams, this is like I said, this is an upgraded version of PSG Talon from Worlds, who were taking games off of some very good teams.
All right, well, we shall see. Coming in next with Group C, we have Detonation Focus Me, Damn1 Gaming, Kia, Cloud9, and Gillette Infinity. How are we feeling this shakes out?
I
Who's
somehow feel like this is the easiest group for C9 to be placed in and have a chance of making it out. They will be 2 out of this group, but at least they have a good chance of making it out. As far as things go from an NA perspective, Trinity is the scarier of the two like non-premier like regional teams. DFM has been around for a while in Japan, and they haven't really seen too much success at international stage, and I don't really expect that to change here going into this event. But Gillette Infinity still has White Lotus, who was another one of like the people I was looking at for potentially getting imported to an ALCS in this split. And and they also have a pretty solid roster that has some Worlds experience that's going into this group. But like this should be a shoe in for Cloud9 to make it out, and then have the privilege of losing to Damwon yet again in the next stage of the event.
I think so. Was it Damwon or was it Royal that said like, "Hey, do you fear any of the teams going into international play at MSI?" They're like, G2, but I don't think they can be there."
I would not be surprised if literally every team said that.
So we do have part of G2 with Cloud9,
Yeah,
and
we have the good part of G2. Like this is the team that I feel actually can learn from mistakes in a game and adapt to how you play team fights. When in game one of their series against TL, when they draft this all-in early game comp and and continue managing to win team fights at like 40 minutes into this game, like no other team in NA or EU or in a lot of other places is going to be able to figure that out. That's what this roster can do, and that's a really good skill set to have in these events where you're not going to always be able to execute on your game plan.
yeah. So Group C, 1-2, Damwon in Cloud9. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, yeah. That's
Yeah.
not a very big hot take, I would say. So, shaking out through this discussion, we have coming out of Group A, Royal and Unicorns. We have Mad Lions, PSG Talon, and then Damwon and Cloud9 going into the round two. With these best of one series, champs, what champions, what roles are we looking at? Who's going to be the best at executing on those? Where's the contention going to be? Or is something wild going to come out in pick ban, or something that's going to be a required ban? Any topic of interest coming to mind boiling to the surface here?
Like one of the big things for me is going to be like um, NA Jace or uh, or EU Jace, even like going up against either RNG or Damwon. Like Zhao, who like had some absolutely sick Jace games in playoffs, even from behind, like going into late game, still doing ludicrous amounts of damage, and their team playing well with poke and setup. So will these other teams going into the second group stage, where so like how it works is there's like the three groups in part one, and then the top six teams go into like this second stack group stage, and then top four make it into the elimination bracket, which is actually best of series. So you want to be able to make it into the second group stage, and then you want to be able to finish top four in that, which is like a very clear goal of don't be the worst, and then make it out. So like to me, like who can play carries out of top lane or like squishier compositions and still find success is very important. Cloud9's shown a lot of expertise with Gragas top lane, both with AP and tank, which is like pretty cool going into this event. Armut's had a ton of success on Malphite and Wukong, but like, can they play squishier champions up there and still have winning strategies or be able to press advantages? Or if you give Xiaohu Jace or Lucian top, will he just take over your map and then put you in a very awkward position of like that these teams haven't really been tested at before? Like no Western team has been tested by dealing with that nonsense from a team that actually knows how to close out games and not throw a Baron. So like it'll be really crucial to see like how these other teams can react when these divergent strategies start showing up that they haven't been exposed to.
Yeah, definitely. Like, from what I've seen in Western play with playoffs specifically, is that you can opt into like a split push or a lane dominant, or like come out losing but really knock it out in the team fights. Gnar, Wukong, Malphite, those champions mentioned definitely camouflage any kind of oopsies in lane. to where a very skilled Jace player or some other kind of very oppressive split pusher top lane that will take advantage of any kind of mistake in top lane will be interesting to see as far as the clashing on international stage. Does the Western competition provide enough experience to deal with that in a best of one series? Um, who's to say? I think Arma definitely showcased like, will he get to even play Wukong? I mean, I think if you're just ban it, man. It's one ban in a best of one. Like, don't take those risks, and then you're pushing him down on champions. Um, if we're looking at champions that can be lane dominant and have success into the team fights, do we see champions like, I think we've seen a little bit of Jax come in. I think we've seen a little bit of Quinn.
Uh, so Quinn as an answer to blind pick Renekton will be, I mean, it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
One sec.
Cat time.
Yeah, cat time.
I know. I'm gonna
So
do this.
yeah. So picking up Quinn into blind pick Renekton is still good, and definitely is like a hallmark of successful teams. And like, so I'd still expect that. I don't think Jax will be as likely as Aurelia, Camille, or like the Urgot pick. I know that Urgot got nerfed slightly going into this, but is still very strong. Um, so we'll see how that goes. But like, uh, Jace, Aurelia, and Camille are like the big three I'd be on the lookout for, as far as like what are the top lane power picks that someone might go for to really try and pressure advantages. Or are they just going to blind pick Gnar all day? Because what do you play in a Gnar is going to continue to be a big question.
Yeah, so I think that moves very well into my next topic, which is flex picks, what's left, what's viable right now. Seraphine, Tristana, um,
Nocturne,
Nocturne. Um, where do those
Silas.
land? Scion.
Scion Flex is a little cheese, but like I definitely do think that um, Seraphine and Seraphine and Nocturne Flex are going to be the bigger two in this tournament. Trist Flex has started to be answered, in my opinion, not necessarily because the pick has gotten worse, but because teams have gotten better at playing against it, and because of that, unless you actually have a good Trist player, you should probably stay away. Like it's incredibly strong late game, but like it's so easy to miss position with jumps or fail to get out of the way of Nautilus hooks at like 20 minutes
Or too
that
tactical.
yeah, and definitely, but like it's really brutal if you if that's not your forte. Like one of the other like hallmarks of good Trist play that I wasn't seeing much in like LCS is the same as what you actually get for getting to a higher level of play in Super Smash Brothers, which is the short jump. Like being able to jump just far enough to like dodge the ability, but still being in range to output damage in the team fight that will still be happening is like very important on this champion if you want to have a team advantage, because the damage numbers are just so high across the board right now. And so when I see these like ADCs jump over walls into positions where they can't auto attack in team fights, that's actually very bad. And it's like effectively dying anyway. So like you need to watch for that. Like there's these indicators of good Trist play that are really going to start coming forward. And these flex picks are now getting to the point where you actually have to be good at playing with these champions in order to benefit. You can't just like blind pick this all powerful OP Akali and hope that it's good enough to get you there like in previous seasons.
So being good on champions. Jungle. We've kind of seen that mellow out into like the cream of the crop champions boiling to the top with Hecarim, Udyr still sticking around, which I think is impressive for the entire split. Lilia, Nidalee, the Nocturne Flex was mentioned, which can also go top lane. Um, How are we feeling about those? Is there going to be some interruption? Oh, the enhanced bruiser junglers are not added to this patch, correct? We're not going to have Darius return for some weird reason into the jungle, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Um, if it is there, Darius would be the one of the enhanced ones that I would see showing up because he's good with Stride Breaker. As like one of the important things. Like Jungle Morg, while fun, I don't think would make it because you don't get as much benefit for your team out of that. The other thing that I've been seeing in EU Masters that would be really fun is Adam from K Corp, who's in EU Masters, is like a top Olaf one trick effectively. So they have like this jungle top Olaf flex that's really disgusting. So like there are ways you can make these other champions work if you can just make sure to get them through. I also think Volibear will still be good. So as far as like a pressure jungler, but it really if you play anything else, you have to be able to impact the map to help your lanes get an early advantage so that you can scare off the Udyr or Hecarim who's going to be in your face, taking your birds, or like laughing at you while like attacking Scuttle Crab or something. Like you got to be able to get a lane advantage so that you can back up your pressure jungler because otherwise your pressure jungler is going to be down 30 CS really fast.
So speaking of assisting junglers, we need your help to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media. We're growing, we're doing more stuff, and that kind of interaction really helps us out. And definitely let us know what you think of the channel, the content that we're producing, comments, and do all that good stuff because we want to hear from you. This is a cool, funky family, and we want you to be a part of it. Moving on from the needless shilling because we're awesome and you already subscribed to us. Mid lane, helping your jungler. Are we going to see the utility mages, the roaming mages, the assassins? What's going on with that?
God, I hope no more utility. Um, Seraphine mid is still good, but like don't try and be G2 and play Karma mid. It's not good right now. It's it it's probably going to be a lot of Oriana. I hate to say it, but like
It is an international tournament with
when
Hecarim.
Hecarim is this good, people are going to be playing Oriana. People are going to be playing Victor into Oriana, and then other than that, we'll see. Um, Assassins have been on the rise. So there was a non-zero amount of Akali games in LPL playoffs from some really skilled players. It could happen here. Lighter just went 14-0-3 or something on Zed and EU Masters. So
Yucky.
like don't let people blind pick Lucian into you anymore. Like show them up. And there's options, but it's probably going to be a lot of Oriana and Victor.
Well, we do like Victor in play. Personally, from this side of the duo lane, Victor is a very good time, and they need to build up his lore before the anime Arcane comes out. So, all good over here. Support picks. Speaking of getting some of that utility back, are we gonna stick with the tanky initiations? We've got some fun stuff coming up, and any uh hot potatoes you want to throw out?
I mean, Rel is still S tier. The big thing to me is what do you pair with Senna in bot lane if you're playing Senna? Do you like because Tom Kench is on the way out? Don't pick Tom Kench with Senna. Like, are we gonna see more Heimerdinger from Barrel? Is somebody else gonna show up with something fun down there? Are Mad Lions gonna triple lane flex Wukong in some of these games? Who knows?
Support Wukong. That's vintage at this point. Wow. Well. Coming up to the end of our duo lane. Any anticipation into MSI uh, that you want to do, Eric? Anything that we haven't touched on?
I'm ready to just look at beautiful Icelandic scenery and see how much light shines on Sven's eyes or monitor during this event. That's really all I'm looking forward to see.
Yeah, lots of drone footage, please, Riot. I know you can do it. You have it inside you. Sven, I know you watch this channel. I know you take our advice very seriously. Don't shit talk before the matches. Just win the game. Don't do that stuff. Don't. Just win. We know you're tall. You know you Trout some fools. Bring some more Western pride to the MSI tournament. Um, we're definitely going to be producing more content. We want to do a lot of MSI coverage. If you have your hot take, if you have, or if we're wrong, which we never are, we've never been wrong, let us know, and we'll fight about it in the comments, or we'll fight about it on channel. Who knows? Uh, Thank you very much for watching. Definitely check out the merch at the Funky Store. Give us a subscribe, like, follow, tweet at, harass, whatever you need to do at Funky Games across all social media platforms. My name is Steven, and this is Eric. This has been the Reaction Time Podcast, DUOLANE special covering MSI with League of Legends esports. Talk to you later.